So we are here today to introduce to you the best show that's going to be on YouTube from past, present, and the future. We are here on the congregation couch. I am the pimp, aka the presidential intellectual masculinity perceived. This is my comrade and partner in crime and doing things that rhyme, Pastor Marquis Combs.
Appreciate that introduction, man. God created mankind, so everything was good already. And then, while everything was good, he decided to create mankind in his own image.
His own image. We're going to start it off from the very beginning on what I believe to be what started all the simp things going on, the anti-pimp way, the anti-dip on your chip way, you know what I'm saying? The things that get you where you want to go, get you in your move and your groove. Adam fell us all, baby, and I'm here to let y'all know that the pimp way is on the way. You understand me? This 1100 thing is I'm saying right here with this pimping pass. You know what I'm saying? This dip on my chip go long, understand me?
It go long.
It go long and strong, understand me, Pastor? Go long and strong, huh, baby?
We still,
you understand me,
this
Pastor?
guy right here, he still
understand me,
we got to pray. We got to pray just to make it today.
We got to pray just to make it today.
I don't fool with them canteen things. I eat them big chips, you understand me? I like a lot of dip, Pastor.
Maggi onion soup and Nestle reduced cream for the freshest, creamiest dip.
A whole lot of dip on my chip.
We're going to try to get back to this verse. He showed out every now and then. We got to wait on him sometime, but we're going to get back to the word.
So, I let them scoop, Pastor.
Verse 2. Verse 2. That's what happened when the word try to go full. Somebody always trying to talk.
Hey, big grab, Pastor. Hey, you want the big grab?
We never know how the show gonna go. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give him a moment.
Big grab, Pastor. Hey, Pastor, hold it.
Lord help. Verse 2.
I want all of it, Pastor. All of it.
Verse 2.
Understand me?
If at any moment your voice raises to a higher octave than a bass, you are no longer pimping, you simping.
Is it just about the voice, or is it what? Sometimes
I use the voice as an analogy. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you gotta be loud and thunderous. Understand me?
I mean, a roar and a scream is two different things. You understand me?
Hey, that's a good analogy, pimp.
You hear me?
That's a good analogy, church. A roar and a scream is two different things. Understand me? That roar go come from deep in the belly. Understand me?
Yeah, I love to hear a man roar. What a man roar, boy, that made me sit down somewhere. You hear me?
Like a lion.
You know, and if you know me, you understand me. It's a little hard to make me sit down somewhere. But if I hear Mufasa.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sit my ass down somewhere.
Just tingles me.
Yeah, something about that does something to me. Yes, Lord.
Understand me?
There's a scripture that says, "What profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul?"
This is a lesson for y'all simps out here, as far as the perspective of keeping your whole organization in order. Understand me? When you start simping, aka within the context of a man and a woman, Pastor, when you start trying to chase your woman and validate her and please her, what you don't understand, simp, is you actually putting that woman above the Lord. You don't know that in the time, but that's what you're doing. You know what's gonna happen? You guaranteed to lose the woman. You gonna lose the woman because you put the woman above the Lord.
Without divine order.
Understand me?
Yeah.
So the Lord gonna take her from you. You think you doing the right thing by worshiping her and laying out the red carpet for no reason whatsoever. Whatsoever, she ain't earned none of that. You just doing because you feel like it's the right thing to do, and the Lord gonna take you from her. I ain't seen one simp out here right now, Pastor, who is still winning. Every simp right now in 2022, Pastor, taking L's, big L's, Pastor. They losing everything they got, including the woman. So we are here today to introduce to you the best show that's going to be on YouTube from past, present, and the future. We are here on the congregation couch. I am the pimp, aka the presidential intellectual masculinity perceived. This is my comrade and partner in crime and doing things that rhyme, Pastor Marquise Combs.
Appreciate that introduction, man. God created mankind. So everything was good already. And then, while everything was good, he decided to create mankind in his own image.
His own image. We're going to start it off from the very beginning on what I believe to be what started all the simp things going on, the anti-pimp way, the anti-dip on your chip way, you know what I'm saying? The things that get you where you want to go, get you in your move and your groove. Adam fell us all, baby, and I'm here to let y'all know that the pimp way is on the way. All right, church, man. I know it's been a while, understand me? But we are back in this thing, understand me? All right, church, man. I know it's been a while, understand me? Sounding good, looking good, understand me? So, tonight's lesson, understand me, church? With all the things that's been going on, if you pay attention to the manosphere at all whatsoever, church, you know it's been some real catastrophic type events going on. I wouldn't just say catastrophic to the point where it's really stopping anything, church, but there's definitely been some divide and divide and confusion type scenarios going on within the quote unquote manosphere amongst black men, understand me? I firmly subscribe to the notion that masculinity ain't got nothing to do with skin color, understand me? It has everything to do with your energy, which transcends skin color. But that's just me, church. However, tonight we're going to dive in on what this pimping considers a simp, understand me? We're going to deep dive on all different kind of simps, understand me? One simp, two simp, red simp, blue simp, understand me? We're going to dive in. We're going to get a real good understanding, understand me? It's going to be a good show. As always, church. Appreciate y'all chiming in, understand me? Appreciate y'all rocking with me. As you can see, we done made a little couple changes, you know what I'm saying, understand me? Got some new cameras, new equipment, understand me? I've been working behind the scenes, kind of get all this stuff lined out. If you've seen some alternate content on other channels, you already know what's good with that, but been kind of collaborating, understand me, working with other channels, getting the stuff going. Subscribers still going up, trying to get collab, trying to get this pimping worldwide, church. So without further ado, let's get into this thing. It's prime time, baby. Prime time, baby. Prime time, baby. Fox NFL Sunday, understand me? But we ain't got no football to watch, so y'all might as well come watch this pimping, understand me? We go ahead and dive into our first topic of the night. We got to get some real clear understanding. What is a simp, church? And if anybody would like to call in, understand me? The link is pinned to the top. Feel free to chime in and let your grievances heard, understand me? What is a simp? If you want to comment, understand me? Put your own definition out there. But this pimping gonna tell you. The presidential intellectual masculine perceived gonna tell you a simp is nothing more than a man that refuses to maintain his masculinity, aka his God energy, understand me, church? That's what a simp is. Now, it's not directly tied to a male per se. In my opinion, a simp female is a female that doesn't maintain her feminine energy, understand me, church? That's what I consider a simp. As far as a female is concerned, church. As far as a man's concerned, church, any man that doesn't maintain his masculinity is a bona fide, certified, fortified simp. That's just what he is, church. Now, we've gone over what masculinity is a couple times throughout the course of this show. But if you need a little refresher, is a man of integrity, a man of moral standard, a man that can get stuff done, a man who's honest, a man who is loyal if he needs to be. He's just a good all-around individual that's capable of doing anything you want to do in life. In addition to that, within the constraints of dealing with women, he understands the importance of keeping a employee-employer synopsis between men and women within the range of romantic relationships. Understand me? He understands that's the way God designed it. That's how you gonna move, church. If he can't move like that with that particular woman, church, he gonna leave that woman right where she at. He gonna keep it moving. Most men on earth are simps, church. 97% of men are simps based on the things that this pimping has looked into, researched, and developed. Understand me? That's just the way the world is, church. You ain't gotta like it, understand me? You ain't gotta love it, understand me? But you must deal with it. People want to talk about game, understand me? You don't play the game, understand me? Church, you have game, church. That's just what it is, baby. You got to figure out how to play the game to win. Over here, we taking nothing but W's, church. That's just what it is, church. We ain't taking no L's. We trying to eat big, church. We trying to eat big, church. We trying to win the game, church. And you can't do that folding on your frame, church. It just can't be done. Why? Because God said so, church. That's why. So we went down that road of what a simp is, church. Now we're going to dive deep into different types of simps. So you got the broke simp, church. What is the broke simp? That's the dude that's the typical dude. He needs a place to stay, church. Understand me? He real cold. He might be cold with his mouthpiece. Understand me, church? But he's stuck in that position of needing a place to stay. He ain't ever really progressing past that point in life. He is always in that position of always needed but never got it. Understand me, church? He always needed but never got it, church. If you hear what I'm saying, if you understand me,
He needs some milk.
gotta get that baby some milk, church. That's the scenario he's in. He always needed, but he ain't never got it, church. And for some strange women, for some strange reason, church, understand me? Women find themselves falling for this type of dude. I don't see how they do it, but he must be cold with the mouthpiece. Hey, if he can get in there and finesse a place to stay, understand me, a bite to eat, understand me, maybe even get a ride, church. Hey, I can't knock that boy on his ability to get stuff done, understand me? You got to finesse the place to stay. Hey, that's just what he did for the night, church. I don't advocate for it. I don't recommend no man keeps himself in the broke simp scenario. I don't recommend a man does anything of simp activity, church. But yet and still, if he feels the need to do some broke simp activities, those are not limited to, but including, he may have a bag of Jordans and a PS5, understand me, church? But he ain't never got a place to stay. That's what I consider the broke simp. He does or may have ability to finesse a place to stay, understand me, church? But it's never for a long time. You got to watch out for the broke simp because he pretty slick, understand me, church? He got to be light on his feet because he been surviving. He's survival mode, understand me, church? He been doing what he got to do for a while now, church. So it just kind of is what it is, if you understand me. You got to do what he got to do to get where you want to go. Sometimes that requires finessing a chick or two out of a bite to eat or a place to stay, understand me? Don't recommend it, but hey, any man that's simping is doing some underhanded stuff, in my opinion. If that's what he got to do to get where he got to go, hey, more power to him, understand me? Don't advocate for it. Don't recommend you stay in this scenario. Moving on. Other end of the spectrum, church. The rich simp. The rich simp is the athletes and the actors and pretty much anybody that is well to do when it comes to financial standing, but still can't figure out how to get a woman to do what they need to do or stay on his program. Why? Because he never approached the scenario from a stance of employee-employer, understand me? He approached the scenario from a stance of, you my queen to be, and I want to spoil you to death for absolutely no reason at all. And that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to spoil you because I love you. and you my baby, understand me? You may not earn nothing. You ain't gotta earn nothing over here, babe. I'm gonna give you the sun and the moon and the stars for no reason. Other than cause you look good. You make me feel good, understand me, church? That's probably the last thing you should do as a heterosexual man in 2023, church. Conduct any decisions or make any moves out of feelings. That's probably the worst thing you could ever do, church. The rich simp tends to lead with his money. He tends to get in and out of places and move in and out of scenarios based solely on his financial standing, understand me, church? Don't recommend it. Yet again, just like the broke simp, understand me, the rich simp is doing the same kind of scenario. Only thing with the rich simp, usually he just moving and shaking, trying to get a little shot of tail, understand me, church? That's just how you get down. He's driven by the notion of wanting to have sex with anything and everything in sight, understand me, church? It never ends well. The rich simp is the guy who gets divorced and his wife leave him and take everything and the kids and leave him high and dry, understand me, church? Take half everything. I'm ready to end it all, church. That's the reality of the rich simp. A man who can have everything, anything when it comes to financial gain, but ain't got anything, understand me, church, when it comes to dealing with people and especially women, understand me, church. He has committed to leading with his wallet. It hasn't ended well for him and never will, church. Why? Because he's putting the women and these things above the Lord, understand me, church. That's just his life. He's been living and dying by the bread since he made some, understand me? But that didn't fix his root cause or root situation on how he's struggling to get along in life, church, when it comes to dealing with the opposite sex and all other individuals, understand me? This is the reality of the rich simp. Don't be that guy. Don't go out here and work hard and get yourself in a good position, in a good life, just to have somebody come take half of it for no reason other than you didn't make them earn it. That's basically what happened. You know, if you don't make somebody earn something, they're not going to respect it when you give it to them for free. The world don't work like that, church. That's just what it is. Moving along, church. The ugliest simp, understand me? So we can put a couple categories on this. That's the guy who just for whatever reason, women didn't ever find him naturally attractive. But there's a solution for this guy. This guy can still go to the gym, understand me? This guy can still be on his purpose, understand me? Can still be working on himself, can still make himself a better product and a more valuable asset to the world, understand me? He can still succeed. All these men can succeed. The broke simp, the rich simp, understand me? The ugly simp too, understand me? Maintain a certain level of masculine frame, understand me? And you'll never lose. That's really what it boils down to, churches. You got to stay in your lane, stay in your frame, and continue to stay attached to the word. And most of these answers just come through you by acclamation, so to speak. You tend to absorb the information when you stay attached to it, church. Get better friends. If you down and out, understand me? Go find you some friends or go make friends with somebody who got it. And going where you want to go, understand me? You're still staying in your sad situation. Go put yourself in a better one. Get yourself around people doing better, living better. And learn from them, church. The best way to learn how to do something is give a class on it, church. But in order to give a class on something, you got to know the subject matter. Get yourself around the mentor that's going to teach you what you need to go. Put you in the environment that's going to breed to success in all aspects, understand me, church? Not just limited to money and women. This life stuff is about your whole synopsis of understanding, not just dealing with women. The last thing you should be worried about when you out here simping is a female. But the grand scheme, magical thing about simp activity is you can't do it by yourself, church. In order to be a simp, you got to have a witness to your simp activities. Understand me? There's been no documented simp in the history of the world who simped by himself, other than potentially procrastinating on something. I consider that some activity too. When you got a task or you got some things you need to go get done in this world, you choose not to do it, or you choose to procrastinate, or you choose not to be involved or hands-on with the process of going from point A to point B, understand me? The ugly simp can solve most of his problems by going to the gym, stay on his purpose. You're still better find a woman, and you still better find advantageous life scenarios. Will it be a little harder because you're ugly? Yes. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it ain't going to be hard, church. But that's the beauty of it, understand me? Even though it's hard, don't mean it's impossible. So stay aligned with the right scenarios, church, and you get where you want to go. Last topic of simps I'm going to touch on tonight is the attractive simp. This is the one he appears to have it all together. He may or may not have some money. And the attractive simp and the broke simp tend to be the same type of dude a lot of times. A broke simp can get away with things and he can finesse it a bit more because he look good, understand me? But any man out here leaning on just his looks to get where he want to go in life is way off base, church. He need a little bit of corrective training. That's why we're here doing the show tonight, understand me? The attractive guys has always been the lookers, always been cute, always had quote unquote good hair, understand me? Light skin, understand me? Them types, church. They still find themselves in simp situations too, where they getting divorced and their wife leaving them, understand me? It obviously can't be because they don't like how you look, because he's attractive. If you don't maintain a certain level of masculine frame, church, I don't care how good you look, women go run off on you, understand me? She has to feel that masculine draw. That's what makes her attractive to you, church. That's what keeps her in. That's what keeps her engaged. Your ability to be a man and be a leader and provide her tangible activities to keep her busy and keep her engaged and to keep her feeling valuable to you. A woman's value is tied to within the constraints of a relationship. It is directly tied to her ability to do things for you. If you're not asking her to do anything, and you constantly spoiling her, eventually she's going to start wondering, why is this man doing everything for me and I'm not doing anything for him? So she's going to inherently start losing respect, and she's going to start questioning her real value. So you literally causing her to be somewhat apprehensive about her own value in the world, because she can't understand why somebody would do something for her for free when she hasn't earned it. It's fun for a while. It's fun to feel like you have someone that do things for you, regardless of the scenario. No matter what, they'll stick there for you and give you the shirt off their back and work hard for you 10 days a week, understand me? 10 days a week, church. It feels good to have a scenario where you have somebody that'll do that for you for no reason at all whatsoever. But it also makes you apprehensive about understanding, why is this person really doing all this for me? And when you're an attractive simp, you can find yourself in scenarios where you spoiling a woman, or you attempting to spoil a woman based off not necessarily your ability to go out here and do stuff as a man, but because you good looking, you can find yourself with a bunch of women that you have absolutely nothing or no inclination of what to do with them other than sex. Understand me, church? That's all you can provide to these women. It's just a little bit of a sexual favor. For hey, if that's all you got to offer, that's all. If that's all you want to provide to the scenario, and that's the pinnacle of your life, then an attractive simp might be for you. Understand me, church? But I highly recommend you don't do any of these simps. So you got the attractive simp, the ugly simp, the rich simp, and the broke simp. All these can be all of the same or none of the same, church. Only things that can't be at the same time is you can't be attractive and ugly at the same time, but you can be broke and ugly. You can be rich and attractive. You can be broken and attractive. You can be ugly and rich, and you can be broken ugly. You understand me? A whole different combination. They still touch the whole spectrum. Moral of the story, churches, don't do no simp activities. Understand me? And we already touched on what a simp is. If you need to understand what a simp is, I've made a couple videos about it. We made a whole video about it. Church, go look for it in the Pimp and the Protege playlist. Understand me? That just find what a simp is, church. If you need a better description. And we also touched on a little bit on the beginning of this video, church, if you need a little refresher. Now this is where we go dive into the big meat and potatoes of all this, church, because we need to get some understanding. Why do simps choose to keep simping? Why, in spite of most scenarios out here where the simp is constantly taking L's, church, every simp in documented history has taken an L. Why they choose to keep doing it? Short answer is society tells them that the simp path is the better one. And for a certain period of time, they may feel like the simp path is the better option. Keyword, feel like. When no man should be operating from what he feels anyway. Can you have gut instincts? Absolutely. Absolutely, church. You can have gut instincts. But gut instincts are developed over time with practice. If you've been practicing wrong the whole time, church, how do you expect to start doing things and conduct yourself in the right manner when the whole time you've been practicing wrong? It's pretty much impossible, church, to do something right when the whole time you've been doing whatever it is you've been doing it wrong. How do you expect to actually achieve the task when you don't have a baseline understanding of how to even start completing the task? So most simps choose simping because they've been taught that's the best thing to do. They've been taught that going out and becoming successful just to please a woman is the thing you need to do. When there's nothing wrong with pleasing a woman, there's nothing wrong with doing anything for her and spoiling her, but you have to make her earn it first. Whatever you do for her, church, she needs to earn it. If you make her earn it, she'll always respect it and she'll always love you for it, because she'll never be in a scenario where she think you just giving her something she don't earn. If you make people in general earn everything you give them, they're never going to be in a scenario where they're trying to finesse you or trying to get over on you or trying to do you bad or do you wrong. That goes both ways. But you have to approach it with the right energy up front. I don't recommend women out here having sex with any random man they meet, but they better come into a scenario with some femininity and some understanding and some usefulness before you expect the man to give you anything for as any kind of resources or doing things for you, especially from a financial situation. You got to earn all that. If you meet a guy, ladies, and he is approaching you with the mindset of trying to spoil you day one, he just met you at the gas station, and the next day he always talking about breaking some bread and getting you a bag or whatever the case, that's a simp. It may be fun for now. He may buy some stuff for you. He may spoil you, but you ain't gonna like it for long. You'll get bored of that guy. You'll be on to the next, and the cycle repeats itself. We have to start understanding how to align ourselves with the proper energy and stay there. You can't be all over the place without any kind of certain consistency, any kind of baseline understanding, and expect to get the desired results. It's impossible, church. You can't do it. I don't see how some of these people, with the technology we have nowadays in 2023, can continue to bump their head against the wall and can't get the desired results, church. I just don't get it. Me personally, I made some changes in my life and I figured out the right way to conduct myself, and the cup been running over for a while now. It's been smooth sailing for a while now, church. With no hiccups. Not nothing major. Not nothing that can be fixed in a matter of minutes. When you align yourself right, church, it's inevitable. The same way the Lord will punish you for being on the wrong side of this simp energy, you can be rewarded for being on the right side of it, church. I'm living proof of that. Look at the camera fade, church. Look at it's so silky smooth, understand me? Obviously, we're doing all right, church. I just want y'all to be all right. So how do you stop simping as a man in 2023? That's a tough question, because most men, they are so ingrained into a simp lifestyle. It's kind of tough for them to go full circle and make a 180-degree turn and go from a simp to a pimp, understand me? And when I say pimp, I'm referring to a presidential intellectual masculine procedure, you understand me? We got pros that pay you, they're not hoes that pay you, understand me? I do not conduct any hoe activity, church. How do you go from simping to pimping? All right. Step one. The simp situations you've been doing have nothing to do with the woman. That's all you, baby. You need to take the steps you need to fix your life on your terms. You need to put in the work to fix your life and get yourself in a better scenario on your terms. A woman is a reward. A woman is a byproduct of you getting yourself in a better position. Now, once you get yourself in a better position without the woman, when you decide to add a woman to your fold, she must be valuable to that scenario. You put in all that work to get yourself in a better spot. Why on God's green earth would you allow somebody to come in and ride your coattails for free and they ain't have to put in no work? You didn't get yourself in a better position to give it to someone else. You got yourself in a better position as a man to take care of yourself. A family and the ability to sustain and take care of a family is a byproduct of you being in a good situation to take care of yourself. It's real easy to take care of your family when you're chasing the bag, Trey. Not so much when you're chasing her. When you're chasing the woman, you tend to start losing the bag. And she tends to start losing respect for you. Next thing you know, you ain't got no woman and you ain't got no bag, church. You ain't got your arm. Bless your heart. Why is that as such? Because you tend to put that woman above God when you start chasing her. You forget all about God. You forget all about your purpose. God gave you work. He said, you must go be fruitful and multiply. You must work. You must till the land. That's what you must do. If you choose not to do that, then the punishment you get is on you, church. You can't be upset with nobody but yourself when you get exactly what God told you was going to get for being disobedient. And choosing to do simp activities is the first sin in the history of mankind. The root of all evil is not money. The root of all evil is simping. Understand me? It started right there. A simp with some money go do some evil things, church. That's what we're gonna do, church. A simp with some money go do evil things. But a presidential intellectual masculine perceived with some money, he gonna try to save the world, church. That's what we're doing right here, understand me? One podcast at a time until we get the platform we need. Gotta keep grinding, church. Simping in 2023. What is considered simping in 2023, church? Let's use some of these actors, for example. We just had the anniversary of the Will Smith scenario and Chris Rock, understand me? We also got Russell Wilson out here, understand me? Recently, within the past couple weeks, got Tyrese, understand me? All of these are rich men. All these are successful men. All these are famous, well-known men, understand me? Even they, with all their fame and all their accolades and all their abilities and all their good looks and all their money, understand me? They should be at the top of the world, but even they can't escape simp activity, church. Why? Because God said so, church. God is hell-bent on punishing simps. Has been doing it since documented history. I went to a club this weekend for the first time in a while called Headquarters. It used to be called Park Avenue or Beamers, understand me? And the dynamic of the energy in there was bass aqua, church. All the women was in there in track suits and tennis shoes, and the dudes, they had on athletic gear and stuff too. They wore what they wore, but the whole energy of the scenario is not conductive of men and women coming together to date each other. It's like everybody was standing around ready to fight. And matter of fact, I seen a physical altercation between a man and woman on the way back walking to my car. Just to put the icing on the cake of my synopsis of energy in general society is all the way wrong. Why? Because the people that run this world wanted it as such. They want people out here all messed up and messed off. Understand me? We easier to control when we are off balance. When we are in an emotional, low vibrational state, it is extremely easy to pull the wool over your eyes, church, because you so bamboozled by everything that you can't see right from wrong. You don't know up from down. Understand me? You don't know what the truth is. Everything about your recollection of life is being fed to you by some people who are hell bent on controlling you. Simping in 2023 is very tied to social media, understand me? The narrative to be a simp and be a good simp and be a happy simp is force fed to you every day with your cell phone, on TV, on the shows you watch, on the music you listen to. All that propaganda is telling them all men to be simps. Just for us to have a bunch of single parent homes and a bunch of men that's down and out, can't take care of their families. Women that are proud of being single parents. And the only thing you can solve this problem from the pimp perspective, understand me, is cut out on all the simp stuff, understand me? We got a call in the back, understand me, big boss on it. I don't know, is it, just see what it is, understand me? Big boss, man, chime in, baby. Can you hear me? I can't hear you, man. It's like kind of froze up. Couldn't hear, man. He may try to chime back in a minute. But in 2023, church, any man conducting simple activity will suffer. There's no excuse for it, church. There's no excuses for being out here on some simp stuff, understand me? Simping ain't the way to go. It's always going to end bad for you. Whether you know it or not, church, it's going to end bad. It may not work. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may affect your kids. It may be your kids' kids. It may be your daughter. It may be your son and their kids. It may be your niece, maybe your nephew. You have an obligation to weed the earth of all this bad energy. All this energy that's keeping men and women divided. We can't regrow and we can't reconstruct and we can't bring back the fabric of society without the family. It's impossible. We need the family to create the mindsets of keeping families together in the first place. Right now, ain't nobody fighting to keep no families together. Everybody seems like more people fighting to just be out here doing their own thing. Everybody on some I don't need nobody else type energy. But that's false. It took two people for you to get here. You wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for two people. It is impossible to make a human with one person. You can't have sex with yourself and produce a child. So the notion that you can do anything by yourself is idiotic. Do you have your piece? Did you have your part to play within the grand scheme? Absolutely. That is your assignment. Understand me? When the grand scheme of things of getting stuff done, it takes more than one person. Nothing great has ever happened solo dolo, church. That's just not how this thing goes. We need other people to go where we want to go. In 2023, they doing everything they can to keep us divided. And we kind of touched on this already. But the first episode of this program is called Adam, the Original Simp. And that story in the Bible is nothing more than illustrating that the task of a man was to lead the woman at the time. Lead, guide, and protect. He failed to do that. Do the simping. And if you ask me, it wasn't about no fruit. It was about the ability to have sexual pleasure, so to speak. Understand me? That's what they learned how to do, because that's the only thing that makes sense to me on what a man was willing to throw everything away for. Because men are still doing it today. Men are still throwing their way everything they got to go get some that thing is hot. Understand me? They want to throw away everything they got to get some of that thing that's hot, church. They still doing it right now. Everything about this simping and about this pimping, understand me? Everything about the Lord, everything about all this stuff when it comes from a spiritual level, all this stuff transcends time. There is no time limit attached to simp behavior. Ain't no time limit attached to pimp behavior. When I say pimping, understand me? I'm talking about the presidential, intellectual, masculine, and perceived behavior. You understand me? This stuff is, time is irrelevant to energy. Energy transcends time. The people who run the show understand this. That's why they run the show. The people who are in charge of the world are not there by accident. And they're not there because they're stupid. They may put it out on TV. Y'all may think Donald Trump was stupid. Y'all may think who's the president right now? I can't remember his name. Y'all may think Joe Biden's stupid. These people ain't dumb. They know exactly what they put out on TV. That's to keep you lost in the sauce, understand me? But we can't fix those scenarios with them people when we distracted by nonsense. When they keep us divided, how we gonna come together to get some transparency and some truth out of them, to where we won't have situations like COVID-19 lasting for 2 years? Understand me? We can't even hold them accountable because we so hell bent on being in an emotional state and being scared and being fearful of things, when a lot of stuff they say is not making logical sense. The root of all evil is simping, bar none. Men not maintaining a masculine frame, not maintaining a logical synopsis of things, not allowing their emotions to get the best of them. That is the root of all evil. And if you look in the word, if you dig into the scriptures, every man that conducted simp activity in the Bible was punished with extreme prejudice. Some of them cost everything. That's what we're about to get into, understand me? Simping can and will cost you everything. Up and into including your life. Church. If you are confused about what simp activity is, reach out. My email is in the about section, understand me? You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on other websites. If you're confused about what a simp is, reach out. Get some clarity. Maybe you don't know what a simp is. Maybe you're not sure if you conduct a simp activity. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of men out here don't know that they're doing simp stuff. They, I guess they quote unquote stand in their lane and mind their business. And then a couple years later, their wife divorcing them. Now you got to move out of the house that you paid for. Now you got visitation for the kids you made and still paying for, understand me? It will cost you everything, church, up and into, including your life. I have at least, I say 5 men I know that died this year due to simp activities, whether it's directly or indirectly. Some simp activity cost them their life. And I know at least 5 men personally. Either I knew them like a first-hand relationship, or I knew of them through someone else. Like someone close to me knew this person. And every single time it's the same exact root cause, church. Either someone along the line didn't teach them the dangers of simping, or they was doing the simp activity themselves, all of the above. It will always cost you, church. I know it feels good to make that woman feel good, understand me? I know it feels good to fold your frame sometimes and be the nice guy, understand me? But it will never end the way you want it to. It will always end badly for you, church. Why? Because God says so. Right there in the word, church. And we're going to look up a couple scriptures at the end to provide full transparency and full context to everything we say. Because on this show, we keep it about the word, understand me? The word is the boss here, not current events, not what's going on with celebrities and all the other nonsense. The word is the star of the show here. But will we use some of these scenarios that's going on in the world for context? Absolutely. But I doubt, who knows what's going to happen. But I doubt very seriously that we'll ever become on Survival of the Simp a reaction show channel where all we doing is reacting and commentating over what somebody else did. I don't care what these people out here doing. Most of these men is doing things wrong or simps anyway. And most of the women that's doing stuff wrong are byproduct of simp men. So I really don't care. If they're not trying to rehabilitate themselves to get in the right vein of energy, I don't feel like focusing. And I don't use the word feel no more. My bad. I know for a fact it's just a waste of time for me to be focusing on people who are part of the problem. I make those individuals aware of themselves if they are within my circle of friends on social media, and I keep it moving. I say it real harsh. I make sure I know that I'm talking about them, and I keep moving. All this critiquing and reacting, and these people don't know me, and they don't know most of these commentators and most of these content creators is always looking at celebrities and reacting and stuff. Like, I understand you got to play the game for YouTube, understand me? But on this channel, we all about teaching and learning and understanding and getting tangible results. That's all we go focus on. We ain't got time to be focused on what some celebrity done did, other than to provide context. If you hear me bring up a celebrity, it's just to provide context that, hey, more than likely they are simp. You ain't got to deep dive on it. You know what they did. We all know the situation with Russell Wilson. We all know the situation with Will Smith. If you want to debate the fact of whether either them two men are simps or not, I'm gonna let you down this word, Playboy. That should be obvious to you. If you still confused about what those men are within the realm with this simping and pimping, understand me? That means you don't understand. That means you need to get an email, understand me? You need to get a consultation and get some clarity, get some understanding. That's what that means. Or you need to call in to the show, understand me? If you're watching right now, and get you some clarity. Ask the question you need to ask in real time. Get you some understanding, church. Get the knowledge you need to conduct the things you need to do, get where you want to go. If you're down and out, if you're doing bad out here in life, you need to get some clarity. You need to get some understanding. You need to lock arms with somebody who's done what you want to do. If you're the smartest man in the room, every time you go into a room, you're in the wrong rooms, church. You're the big fish in the little pond, understand me? You should be trying to be the big fish in the big pond, church. That's what we do over here, understand me? We ain't got time for the little fish, church. We need the big fish. Now, what's the solution? And we touched on this a couple times, and we go keep touching on it. We go keep regurgitating the same thing, because why? Because it's in the word, church. Because God said so. Masculinity is your God energy. What's the most ultimate example in the word of God for with the spiritual text of Christianity? The ultimate man in that Bible is Jesus. If you read, understand, and you decipher those texts, Jesus is nothing more than a man who maintained his masculinity the whole time. He never faltered. He never folded. He never gave in to temptation. And if you think Jesus didn't have some bad bees trying to get him, understand me? If you think he didn't have some women trying to throw it at him, understand me? You're a fool. Because he's Jesus. You think some people didn't know he was the coldest nigga alive? They ever lived? If you think that, you're a fool. People knew who he was. And knowing who he was, you think women weren't trying to get at him? Jesus was so masculine, he didn't get none. As far as we know. There's different interpretation of the text, understand me, church, but from what I read, it says Jesus never got him a shot, understand me? Jesus didn't have no kids. Jesus never got him a shot, understand me? He didn't need it. He had a mission to do. He had his purpose. His purpose was bigger than him getting some pleasure from a woman. And just think about that, right? If Jesus would have folded and started simping, we might not be here right now. Think about that again, church. If Jesus would have been a simp, we might not be here right now, church, to even talk about this. This is how important it is for you to stop this simp activity, understand me? You may not be here tomorrow if you keep simping. You ain't gonna be here for your kids, you ain't gonna be here for your daughters, you ain't gonna be here for your mama, you ain't gonna be here for your sister, your brother, you ain't gonna be here for nobody. Simping is a life hazard. Never ends well, church. Never will. And that's how it's supposed to be. Now, I told you I'm going to chime into the spiritual text, understand me? I'm going to look up a couple stories. You can Google this with me, and I'm going to recite off the scriptures or the actual verses I'm looking for. But this, we got supercomputers in our pockets, church. That's why I say in 2023, there is no excuse for not understanding how to conduct yourself. You got all the information right here. You watch me break it down for you. I got a bunch of videos on this channel where if you pay attention, all you gotta do is follow the instructions, church. I break it down pretty easy for you, church. All you gotta do is pay attention. Well, let's look up some scriptures for y'all. Some of us struggle to provide context to this simp activity. We all know the story of Samson and Delilah, right? Let's look it up. Samson and Delilah in the Bible. Let's find the scriptures. Google give me everything but the scriptures. Let me go ahead and get more contextual with my search, church. All right, it's in Judges 16, understand me? That's where we're reading from. King James Version. We're gonna start at verse 6, understand me, church? Maybe 4, so just to give some context, and then again to verse 6, understand me? Judges 16, starting at chapter 4, understand me? This is the Bible. Just to give y'all some context on the dangers of simping if you ain't ever seen this before. Sometime later, he fell in love with a woman in the valley of Soak, whose name was Delilah. We talking about Samson, understand me? The rulers of the Philistines went to her and said, "See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his strength and how we can overpower him, so we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver," understand me? So Samson was real strong, understand me? He was King Kong out there in the jungle, understand me? Samson had that old man strength. He couldn't be stopped, understand me? So some men came to her after he done fell in love with her and said, "Hey, we need you to tell us how to get this dude, man. He too much. We can't do nothing with him. Woman, go find out how to get him off his frame, understand me? Tell us how we can get him to start simping, understand me? Because he ain't simped yet, so we need you to go figure it out." All right, verse 6. So Delilah said to Samson, understand me? "Tell me the secret of your strength and how you can be tied up and subdued." Verse 7. Samson answered her, "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, I become weak as any other man." All right, verse 8. Then the rulers of the Philistines brought her 7 fresh bowstrings and had not been dried, and she tied him with them. With the men hidden in the room, she called to them, "Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the bowstrings, and as early as a piece of the string snaps and becomes close to a flame. So the secret of his strength was not discovered. So Samson's a little smart, understand me? Samson didn't go for the okie doke off top, church. Samson was still in his frame, understand me? Samson gave us some okie doke, understand me? He gave her the audible play on that one, understand me? So she came back again, understand me? Let's see. So Delilah took new ropes. Oh, okay. So the secret of this string had not discovered. Verse 10, understand me? Then Delilah said to Samson, you have made a fool of me. You lied to me. Come on now. Tell me how you can be tied. Understand me? So Samson don't know that she made a bargain to get the silver. How she mad about the fact that he won't tell her how to make him weak? She tied him up. Let me see. Did she tie him up? Yeah, she tied him. She tied him up. She tied him up, church, and he got mad when the Philistines trying to kill him. She got mad at him for making a fool of her, quote unquote, for not telling her the truth about how to make him weak. Weak. Verse 10. Let me read verse 10 again. Then Delilah said to Samson, you have made a fool of me. You lied to me. Come now. Tell me how you can be tied. He said, verse 11, if anyone ties me securely with new ropes that have never been used, I'll become weak as any other man. So she went and got some new ropes, understand me, church. And she tied him up. Then with the men hidden in the room, she called to him, Samson, the Philistines up on you yet again, nigga. Yeah. But he snapped the ropes off his arms as they were threads. Delilah then says to Samson, all this time you have making a fool of me and lying to me. Tell me how you can be tied. He replied, if you weave 7 braids of my head into the fabric on a loom and tighten it with the pin, I become as weak as any man. So while sleeping, Delilah took 7 braids of his head, wove them into the fabric, and tightened it with the pin. And she again called to him, Samson, the Philistines up on you. He woke from his sleep and pulled up on the pin in the loom of fabric, in the loom with the fabric. Then she said to him, how can you say, I love you when you won't confide in me? How can you say you love me, Samson, when you won't tell me how we can kill you? That's basically what she's saying. And guess what, Simp? That's what you're doing. That's what you was doing, Simp, when you're up there trying to please the woman. Why won't you tell me how to kill you? You don't love me. You won't put me above God. How can you say you love me? Fool. Let's keep reading, church. How can you say I love you when you won't confide in me? This verse 15. This is the 3rd time you have made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength. With such nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it. He was sick of her. He got tired of her nagging, church. Verse 18. No, verse 17. So he told her everything. He found out of him just saying, you know what, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you nagging me, woman. He loved her. I'm tired of you nagging me. Let me go ahead and tell you what it is. So he told her everything. Verse 17. No razor has ever been used on my head, he said, because I have been a Nazarite. I don't know how to say that, but Nazarite, I think it has said, dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become weak as any other man. So he finally gave her the truth, understand me? When Delilah saw that he had told her everything, she sent word to the rulers of the Philistines, come back once more. He has told me everything. So the rulers of the Philistines returned with silver in their hands. After putting him to sleep on her lap, she called someone to shave off his 7 braids of hair, and so began to subdue him, and his strength left him. Then she called, Samson, the Philistines up on you. He woke from his sleep and thought, I go as before and shake myself free. But he did not know that the Lord had left him. Then the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him down to Gaza, bound him with bronze shackles. They set him to grounding grain in the prison. But the hair on his head began to grow again, and it had been shaved. After it had been shaved. I ain't gonna go no more. I assume that after the hair grow back, he get his strength back, church. We that's another option for my other show, understand me? Y'all can catch that when we get to that part. When we get to that part on the word, understand me, church, y'all can hear us break that down, church. Long story short, church, he left all his strength, and all his strength was taken from him. Why? Because he chose to simp. That's why. And she was finessing him the whole time. And he knew she was finessing him. But since he loved her so much, he didn't really care. That sounds very similar to what the simp situation is in life right now. Where you got a woman out here twerking on cars, got her behind exposed at the Oscars or at the Vanity Fair, but you still love her anyway. She taking all your strength away. You a quarterback for an NFL team. Your ability to be a quarterback for an NFL team depends on your ability to be a leader. Your ability to be a leader is very dependent on your personal lifestyle. How can you expect men, grown men that are the equivalent of gladiator athletes nowadays, the pinnacle of masculinity on display? How do you expect these type of men to follow you anywhere? Well, you got a wife like that. Guess what? They ain't gonna follow you. And guess what? Depending on who you ask, she's doing it on purpose. She finessing you on purpose, Russell Wilson. She getting us a stick playing together, Russell Wilson. She tired of you, Russell Wilson. If she was happy with you, Russell Wilson, she wouldn't be twerking on cars and making songs about being strong and independent while being married to you, Russell Wilson. I don't know what else y'all want to hear from me, church. I mean, we gonna keep going, understand me, but I don't know how much more evidence y'all need. We gave y'all some biblical scripture, understand me? We gave y'all some real world examples of 2023, church. If you watch this podcast right here, or you see this live, or you see any content on this channel, you still choose a simp, church, you get everything that's coming to you. You deserve it. You deserve to get all the turmoil and bad scenarios that God got coming for you. In 2023, God hates simps. They are the bane of God's existence. Simping is the root of all evil, church. If you choose to do it, you're going to get what's coming to you. Why? Because God said so, church. That's why. You can't do nothing about it. Only thing you can do is correct your behavior and make sure you're not part of the problem, understand me? Make sure you're part of the solution, understand me, church, not part of the problem. Then you'll be all right. If you're out here simping, church, make no mistake, you are part of the problem. It's just as simple as that, church. If you're confused about what you're doing, what you ain't doing, reach out, church. I explain to you in great detail that you're a simp. Most likely you are. Don't be upset about it. Hey, I was a simp too, church, once upon a time. Now I'm a motherfucking pimp. Understand me? Y'all got me cussing up here tonight, church. I don't really even cuss on my show. I try to keep it real clean and dry, understand me? But y'all got me up here kind of hyped up about this simp activity, especially with the state of what's going on with the quote-unquote manosphere right now. We got a bunch of more simp activity up here, all in hands and all tied up with some white girl. They allowed to finesse them out of all their viewers and subscribers, understand me? We just get started over here, church, so we ain't got them kind of problems yet, understand me? But we gonna get there, church. Appreciate y'all chiming in with me, understand me? We gonna be more consistent. I had to go get me it's been a little gap because we had to go get another new editor. My mainstay editor, understand me? He had a baby, understand me? And he really ain't had time to really do no content for me. I wished him well, and he got a whole family he got started, and he got some beautiful things going on. I like to say that I helped him through his path of building a family, but since he had a family, he ain't really got time to work on this pimping, understand me? He ain't got time to work on the show. I just hired a new editor today, so we should be back to our regular scheduled programming, church. And if all else fails, church, I made some changes on the background, understand me? We got these camera fades and stuff going on, understand me? I might be able to start editing it myself, understand me? If I can't get the editor to do it, I'm going to start doing it myself and go keep this content coming out for y'all, church. Like, share, and subscribe, understand me, church? Get the word out. If you want to be a part of the program, be part of the show, understand me? Reach out, understand me? The emails and about information, understand me? We trying to save the world, church. One step at a time. We got this thing.